Boy meets girl. Girl likes boy. Dudes on her block wants boy's head on a platter. The solution? Mano a mano with the head honcho. The problem? I can brought a shooter with me to a fist fight. Trash the piece theater. Pistol whips in plan B. The year was back that ass up, and my pop moved us from north to northeast Philly. It was basically like leaving Winterfell to live beyond the wall. Northeast Philly, especially the part we moved to, was super remote. But even though we moved way out into the boonies, I still spent all my time on the block in north, which irritated my pop. He moved us up to the northeast so me and my little brother wouldn't be on the corner so much.
That didn't work.
The only good thing about living in the northeast was the amount of Joans up there who loved hood dudes. There was white Joans who were like native to beyond the wall, and sisters whose parents moved them to the northeast to get them away from boys like me. Their dads constantly told them to never ever date North Philly boys, so naturally, that's the only type of guy they wanted to be with. Sucks to suck. So one day I was riding down this random street in Northeast not far from the house, playing something loud and ratchet, lowering the property value when I spotted this bad joint. It was like a vintage LL video. I drove past, she stared looking all sexy, and I banged the U-turn to bag her. Pulled up, got out the car like a gentleman. I'm lying like hell. It ain't have nothing to do with being a gentleman. I just wanted Joan to see that I was tall. So I did what basic boys do. I squinted my eyes, dropped my voice an octave or 8, then laid my game down quite flat. I'm not sure exactly what I said, but it was probably something corny like, yeah, you know, they call me P. She gave me her number and I started calling her during free nights and weekends. We chopped it up for a while, which eventually led to me sliding through her spot, scooping her up and taking her back to Paridi house to have sexual intercourse with our genitals. So one night, we in the bed and she turned to me and said, I don't think you should come pick me up anymore. I'll just come to you instead. So I'm like, wow, what's up? The guys that live on my block don't like when you come through. They jealous. They talking about jumping you. I did notice a couple of them in their fields the last time I slid through her block, but I told her not to worry about it since I wasn't scared. When I dropped her back off that night, I noticed the dudes on her block gritting, but I was unbothered. Each time I came through, it got worse. They started mumbling goofy shit. When I dropped her off, the ringleader called me a bitch-ass nigga as I drove past. Joan called me like 10 minutes later and said if I came back around, they was gonna roll on me. So I fell back for a minute and started posting up down the block like Omar gathering intel. I watched how they moved, I watched their patterns, plus Joan was still sliding through giving me all types of info after she and I made sexy time explosions with our privates. I came up with a plan. Only thing was, I needed to have at least one person to watch my back. I was far from a tough guy, but I was thug adjacent and from north, so you wasn't just gonna keep talking any kind of way to me. So the plan was solid. Go scoop up Bruce from the block, drive back to the northeast, punch the shit out of the ringleader boy, drop Bruce back off, then play peen and vag tag with Joan. I drove down to the block and surprisingly, nobody was out. As I was about to pull off, my homie DM was like, yo P. I got out the car and we started talking. I guess he could see something wrong on my face, so he asked what was up. When I told him, he was like, oh nah, we can handle this shit right now, where they at? Now, DM was and wasn't the most ideal person to take with me. He was a shooter, which is always a good person to have on your side, but also, shooters be shooting for no ass reason sometimes, and DM was just like that. It was like a 30-minute ride from the block to Joan's house, and the entire time we was in the car, I was going over the plan with DM. Yo, we gonna pull up, I'ma knock the one boy the fuck out, and all you gotta do is make sure no one else makes a move. I got you, bro, I got you. We gonna fuck these niggas up. No. We don't have to fuck anyone up. I'm just gonna steal the ball. I went over the plan like 10 more times and made him repeat so I knew he got it. We got to the block, pulled up to the corner, and went over the plan again. I pointed out the ringleader ball, put the car in drive, pulled up, slammed on the brakes, got out, rushed up the grass, lined up his face, cocked back my arm, his eyes got wide, and just as I was about to let loose, one of his homies fell at my feet. I turned, and DM had his gun out, pistol whipping the other boys. One by one they fell. He was smacking dudes I never even seen out there before. One of them tried to run, but DM raised his gun up, and the bull walked back reluctantly and took his pistol whipping like a man. DM was standing over a group of guys like Ali stood over listening. Me and the ringleader boy just stood there in shock. DM looked at him. I heard y'all had a problem with my nigga. Ringleader boy just stuttering said, "No." I was gonna still hit the ringleader boy for GP, but DM was like, "Come on, P. You ain't gonna have no more problems with these bitch ass niggas." We got in the car, pulled off, and headed back to the block. For the first 15 minutes or so, neither one of us said shit. Then he broke silence. Man, you knew what it was gonna be when I got in the car. Don't play dumb now, nigga. Bruh, we had a plan though. The plan was for them niggas not to talk shit no more. I bet they won't talk shit no more. I took DM back to the block and we just chilled outside like he didn't just mop up an entire block of niggas. That night, Joan came over and told me they was tooling up and getting some niggas from Lindenfield Projects to get back at me. So after Joan and I made love with our naughty bits, I called my homie who I knew ran Lindenfield Projects. He and I met up on Joan's block as I was dropping her off. He made each one of them walk over to me and apologize individually. Homie let them know he didn't want to hear anything more about them talking shit. I walked Joan to the door, kissed her goodnight, and grabbed her booty in front of them just to be petty. I headed back toward my car and said, "Have a good night, fellas." They stood there, salty and quiet. No baddie, no able to jump me, no chance at redemption. Sucks to suck.
Thug adjacent card. Never leave home without it.
Thank you for watching Trash to Peace Theater. I hope you enjoyed this, Joan. If you're new, go catch some of the older episodes. If you want to support the channel, you can join the Patreon, drop $1 or $10 into the Cash App, or just hit the like button and leave a comment. All of the above helps.